Good morning, everyone. Martha Ermias here, coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. I hope that you guys are doing great. Very thankful for today. God gives us every single day so that we can work on it, enjoy it, and build our future on it. So it's a blessing. Every single day is a blessing. And I hope you feel that way. Good morning, Collins. How are you? Good to see you here. I'm going to wait a little bit until some of you join. Hi, Tolda. Good morning. Hello, Hollins. Good to see you here. I'm going to go ahead and send you some information later today. Hey, Mikey. Good morning. How are you? Binyam, good morning. Please tell me where you guys are joining in from. I would like to see which country or city you guys are from. Bini, good morning. Good to see you. How's everybody doing today? Let me know how you're doing. Is today a great day for you? I would like to hear that. All right, so today I was, as I was preparing for today's message, I was actually reminded of something that I learned while I was in graduate school many years ago. And in one of our business classes, I learned that people in America, the rich are always getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Basically, the gap between the rich and the poor has been growing bigger and bigger, and that fact hasn't changed from the time that I was in grad school. This is something that it's always heavily talked about, and I thought I would bring up that topic and talk about why do the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and what can we do about that? That's something that I want to talk about today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Martha Ermias. I'm an entrepreneur and I live in Columbus, Ohio. I'm building businesses throughout the nation, in some other countries as well. And I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship, personal growth, and contribution, because those three things provide us with fulfillment and ensure that we're building a better future. So, hi Tesfai from Europe, good to see you. Yoski, good to see you here. Thank you guys for joining. If you like any of the messages some of the stuff that I shared today, if you get it, if you like it, please interact with me. Give me a like. Let me know if you like something, and I would like to go ahead and take a look at the comments later on, okay? All right, so there's a book that I read. I don't know how many of you have read it. It's by Robert Kiyosaki. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's one of the best books that I've read. And in that book, he talks about 4 different ways that people earn income, 4 different ways of making money. He talks about 4 different ways of making money. And this is not just in the US, internationally, those people, you can categorize how the way people make money into 4 different ways. So we're going to talk about those 4 different ways and how some of them can actually lead into building wealth, whereas the other ones will just keep you just above broke. So we're going to kind of like dive deep in. So the 4 different ways of making money, according to Robert Kiyosaki, he has it in a quadrant, and we have ESBI. E stands for employee. By becoming an employee, you start making money. That's one way. And then S is self-employed, okay? And third is B, which is business owner. And then I is investment, okay? Those are the 4 different ways that people make money. A lot of times, not most people are in all 4 categories. They're either in one and not in the other, and sometimes they could be in more than one of those categories. They could be making money in more than one way, which would be a combination of the 4 different ways to make money. So what are the differences between these 4 different ways of making money, and how can that affect our future and how much wealth we build with the time that we have? The ideal thing to do, according to Robert Kiyosaki, is start. You can start. Some people start in different quadrants, but you can start with employee. But your goal should be to transition from one way of making money to another, either completely transition, or while you're doing the first one, you can also do the others. But the last one, which creates wealth, is the last one, which is the investment part. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 different ways. Employee. Now, a lot of us, what we learn from the time that we are children is to go to school, learn and become specialized in a specific type of profession so that we can get a job. So we're already conditioned that our destiny is to become an employee. Most people are groomed or prepared to become an employee. That's what is very common to most people, okay? Nobody really prepares you so that you can become a business owner, so that you can become an investor, so that you can become a self-employed. That's not the tradition, that's not the normal way of going about it. So a lot of people are already working their way to become an employee, okay? So how does that differ from the other quadrants or other ways of making money? When you are an employee, the only way you make money is if you have some activities. Basically, if you trade in your time. So for your skills and your time, you get paid for it. And if you don't put in the time, you don't get paid for it. How you get paid for it, the wages could be salary, it could be hourly. So the only way you can increase your income is either increase the wages, which is get paid at a higher level for your time, or you're going to increase the time, which means you're going to have 2 jobs instead of 1, or work overtime hours. Now, that's the only way you can do it. So it limits you a little bit because the number of hours you can put in is going to be limited. You know, even if you work 50 hours a week or 60, 100 hours a week, you can't go above that, even if you want to. Or your skill level is also going to limit how much you get paid per hour. Even that has a limit, that has a ceiling. So your income is going to be limited. Your income is limited regardless of what scale it is. There's limit in your income. And the other thing also is, unfortunately, this category of people pay the highest amount of taxes. The tax laws are not written in favor of employees. So because of that, a lot of the income that they bring in, they also have to pay it back to the government. So that's the other disadvantage that will keep all the money that you bring in, you're actually not using it to build wealth because you have to pay taxes on that. And the other disadvantage of just staying in this quadrant or just earning your income in this way is also that you may not have job satisfaction. You may not like what you do. And this is not true for everybody, but research says that 27% of Americans, at least in the US, hate their job. Literally, they can't wait to quit. That's what I mean by hate, you know. They dread going to work. 27%, that's a very high number. And then 51, the rest 51, they don't like their job, they don't hate their job enough to quit, but they're just surviving and not thriving. So if you're not fulfilled and you don't like your job, and the only reason you're working is so that you can pay the bills, it also takes away your enthusiasm in life, and it's your potential, you know, your desire to thrive in life, all of that. It kind of it numbs you out. You become very, very complacent. So personally, I believe that's the highest cost that you pay when you're not really thriving and finding satisfaction and fulfillment in your job and you're employed. I think the highest cost that you pay is your ability to thrive, or that person that can create stuff. What it does to you as a person is the highest cost that you pay in life. That's my personal opinion. But not having job satisfaction or fulfillment, and you feel like you're only working so that you can get paid. I know this is a very strong word, but it's almost like you're enslaved to your work. And I don't think that's the best way to live. And sometimes, and a lot of times, it's important to get educated, get a job, and it's meant to help you, you know, get ahead in life. But the problem is a lot of people stay there. They don't really move to the other ways of making income, and they don't learn the other ways of making income that can give them more fulfillment, that can give them more control of their life and their future and their finances. And the second way of making income is becoming self-employed. Okay, being self-employed is you don't have a boss. However, okay, there's two categories of self-employment. One is highly specialized careers like doctors or lawyers and things like that. They work for other people, but they are so highly specialized that they have more demand, and they're pretty much, it's not about having a boss or not, really. That's they're pretty much almost contracted by the companies that they hire them. And the other one of self-employed is really having small business. When you have a small business, you don't have a boss, but you're an employee of your own business, because everything really falls upon you. Now, even in this category, time equals money. Whatever time you put in is what you get paid for. There's no, what lacks in here is that, first of all, a lot of times they work extreme hours. When you're self-employed and you have a business, because there's no leverage, usually they work from 9 to 9. Pretty much they're working the whole time. Now, a lot of people, when they're asked if they're business owners, they say, yes, I am a business owner. And if you ask them, does your business own you? They will say, yes, my business owns me. So that kind of lifestyle also does not bring fulfillment, and it doesn't also help you build wealth unless you also participate in the other types of making income. Okay, so with self-employment, what you're lacking is a system that allows you to leverage your effort and to generate leveraged income. And we're going to talk about leveraged income and what that means. So self-employment and employment, time equals money. Time equals money. It's very linear relationship. However, when you become a big business owner, okay, if you have a large business owner and other people are working for you, now you're in a different quadrant. Other people are working for you. So basically, people equals money. The amount of people that you have that are working with you or working for you is going to impact how much income you earn. So you're basically leveraging on the efforts of other people, and you can scale it up because right now it's not, time is not equal to money. It's people equal to money. Okay, becoming a business owner. So when you are a business owner, it's really the relationship is between you and the number of people that are associated with your business or are working in your business. And your income does not 100% depend on your own effort. It depends on other people's efforts as well. Usually, as a big business owner, you also have a system that's working for you. Okay, there's a system that others can plug in, and then that system is going to allow you to scale up and leverage more. And the other beautiful thing about business ownership is also you're starting to earn passive income. Basically, you can still generate income when you're not working because it's really not dependent on your time alone. And when I say that, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you literally don't work, but it's not proportional to the number of hours or time that you put in. You make more income than you put the time in. So with this third type, I want to give you a couple of examples because this is not something that everybody knows. A couple of examples is, for example, if you have insurance brokerage, insurance brokers, they don't only sell insurance, they also have other people who sell insurance, and they get write-off from every person that's working with them that's selling insurance as well. So they benefit on their own efforts and on other people's efforts as well. Real estate brokers, the same thing. In network marketers, the same thing. Building a network marketing business will allow you to get paid on other people's efforts as well. So that's leveraged income, and that's also a passive income, okay? And then the fourth one is becoming an investor, okay? Here, you no longer have to really depend on your efforts or on other people's efforts either, okay? When you're an investor, your money is working for you. It really doesn't matter whether you're working or other people are working for you, your money works for you. Investors, what they do is they actually earn income based on payoffs and interests that their money is generating. And that's really the true path to creating wealth, is really investment. Okay, so a lot of people do not start at the at the fourth quadrant, which is investment. A lot of people, or they may not even be able to. However, the goal should be that. Okay, the goal should be that. And you can be an employee right now, but are you really participating in any of the other ways of making income, so that you're transitioning from a linear income to leveraged income gradually? Okay, or you could be a business owner, a small business owner. Are you participating in leveraged way of generating income? That way, your business is not dependent just on you. Because if you think about it, guys, if your business is just dependent on you, you're working for yourself, obviously. But what happens after 30 years, 40 years? You're going to be tired. You're going to be tired. You can't go on like that forever. And at that time, what have you built? What is the legacy that you have created? Which really makes it important that we are, to some extent, learning and also participating in the other ways of earning income, because eventually what you do now and what you create will take care of you and your family and your legacy later on in life. Okay, so this is really a different way of looking at things, and again, the reason why, not all the reason, but one of the reason why the rich are always getting richer and the poor are always getting poorer is because the rich understand the financial game, and they are very smart with their time, and they're playing the financial game in the ways that we're talking about. And that's one of the reasons. I'm not saying it's all the reasons, but it's one of the reasons. They're not only focusing on the amount of income that they're generating, they really care on how they're generating that income. It's more important that you focus on how you're generating that income, as opposed to really how much money you're making. It's really not just the money. And when I say this, being an employee, you can actually really build wealth if you start investing, if you really transition on investing. So you really want to be smart on creating an investment, and how you earn your money, if there's a way that you can leverage on other people's efforts as well. Work with other people, be cooperative with other people, and leverage your income. That's also transitioning into that. So, that will save you from paying too much taxes, which we all don't want. And starting a side business will also help you leverage your income and create wealth as you're doing that. And not only that, I think the biggest advantage that I believe to transitioning from one type of making income to another is really it puts you around people that understand money, that understand how you create income, how you become extremely successful. It allows you to associate with the kind of people that can lead you, and that's how you really learn about investments, about businesses, becoming an entrepreneur. So all of those connections that you create, your association and connection starts to change. And when that happens, just like, for example, if you want to lose weight and become fit, one of the best ways to do it is be around people who are skinny, fit, and very health conscious, because they are going to influence you. In the same way, when you make an effort to enter these different sectors of making income, you start to learn. You start to learn from them and become really good at it. Actually, I want to tell you a story of an older lady who is an immigrant. She immigrated, I believe, about 18 years ago. And for some reason, she was really savvy with income and making income and things like that. And once she learned about real estate investment and how it actually creates passive income, she didn't know much. She's an immigrant. She didn't know much about what to do in this country, and she was working a regular job. But she just became very passionate about it. And when she was telling me her story, it was just amazing. And she's an older lady. She was over, I would say, about over 50, maybe 55 when she came here. And she just started hanging out with real estate investors. She just kept on, going back because she said, I had a desire. And then I started to learn what I needed to do. And she started small. Now she owns about 11 rental properties, and her income from those 11 rental properties alone is $10,000 a month. She's in her old age, and she can do it. She's an immigrant. By being an immigrant, she probably didn't know much about the system here, and she could have made her age an excuse. She came here as an older lady, but she wanted it. She hang out around people and that are doing that exact same thing. She learned it and started applying it, and years later, right now, I was so impressed by how much she has accomplished, and that's really inheritance for her granddaughter that she's leaving if when she passes on from this world. So it can be done. It's just a matter of being conscious about it. A lot of people think that's just having a job, being employed, getting paid, paying the bill, maybe go to some vacation, and that's it. When you're doing that, you're wasting precious time to do something else that you could do that can really relieve you or change the lifestyle that you live later on in life. So that's about it, guys, and I hope that was helpful to you. Please go ahead and share it if you feel like other people can benefit from this as well. And if you want to learn more about entrepreneurship and the things that I do as an entrepreneur, I would be more than happy to share it with you. Please go ahead and send me a private message, and I usually check my private messages on a regular basis, and I will be more than happy to get back to you. Other than that, please make it a great day until I see you tomorrow on a similar live video. God bless you all, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.